Hey guys, what's up? I am Intuitive Vitality Coach Tyrone,
And I'm Amanda Heisman, nutrition intuitive, energy embodiment coach, intuitive eating teacher. Hiya.
and we want to talk to you guys today about how good are we meant to feel. Starting with the quote by our good friend Tom Brown is awareness is the doorway to spirit, and the challenge is to walk through that doorway. And so for myself, walking through that doorway um, into spirit really sparked for me that awareness was elixirs, breath work, and nature immersion. What was it kind of like for you, like having that awareness of, wow, I feel so connected, I feel so alive, I feel so nourished.
Yeah. So some people call this an awakening or something like that, but I think the first real time I remember feeling that connected was back when I just left corporate. I'd started doing some healthy things like incorporating green smoothies and tried this whole meditation thing. This is like 2013. And as you're joining, say hi, let us know that you're here, ask any questions you guys might have. And as you're watching the replay, let us know in the comments below. We always love to connect with you guys. But yeah, when I think about like how good are we meant to feel, like I feel better than probably like my 28-year-old self could have ever conceived of, right? Like even imagined now.
Right.
And so I think about the things that got me there, and I'll share some of those, but that also has me thinking about how good is my 50-year-old self gonna be, like how good are we meant to feel? I think we do put a lot of like limitations and disconnect, like our society is kind of ripe for disconnection and for us not to be at our best. Like a lot of things in society just aren't physiologically conducive to us feeling our best. But the first time it happened for me physically, I remember just adding a green smoothie in the morning when I was accustomed to eating cereal or bagels or something like that. And I remember just feeling so energetic throughout the day, right? Like really level energy throughout the whole day, rather than I was really accustomed to being dependent on sugar and caffeine to get me through my day, especially like the 3 p.m. crash. So when I think about how good I'm meant to feel, like that's my first real experience with like, oh, I didn't know I could get through the day without sugar and caffeine. I didn't know I could get through the day like with this green smoothie in the morning would carry me energetically all the way through. And I feel great. I feel much less brain fog because I was having less bread and gluten and sugar. And I feel amazing, like I can focus all day long. And so that was kind of a point where then I started like, what's the next thing, right? Like we kind of delve into these different things. And so that was kind of a first point for me, like with the nutrition, of like, it was kind of a doorway. It was kind of a doorway into the rest of it. And then I started exploring different modalities. But I remember once, I kind of meditated on and off for a while and did yoga on and off for a while. But once in 2013, just sitting at the beach in Florida for an hour and feeling like that sense of timelessness, when you kind of tap into that trance state, like as a child playing or something like that, that was like the first, when I think about it, not just on a physical level, right, of how good I'm meant to feel, but a more spiritual level, like, oh, I can actually feel this good on a regular basis. What have I been doing all this time, right? Like we kind of get dumbed into what's normal and what we think we have to do, or what's cultural norms of how we're meant to feel. Hey Alicia, what's going on?
What's up,
how good
Alicia?
Are you meant to feel?
What's up?
Alicia's helping people feel good through acupuncture down in South Florida.
Beautiful.
But yeah, that's kind of like the first like time I remember.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I remember running through the forest one time and like barefoot felt like a warrior
Yeah.
going through the forest. It was the most elated feeling I've ever had. And one of the things with feeling good as well is that when you come from a state of empowerment and really ask yourself that question, instead of living from a state of reactivity, which I feel like a lot of our medical paradigm does sometimes as well, we can switch to the wellness paradigm of being proactive
Yeah.
and really actually exploring just how good we can feel. And yeah, that's been a huge journey for me, is like optimal vitality. Like, what is the best feeling that I could feel? And you talked about it great on like both physical and spiritual level, where for like myself as well, instead of having something external, like even for nutrition, because I definitely went through a nutrition stage where I was like, all this food's gonna make me feel good, and then I realized there's a whole other holistic realm of like spiritual well-being as well, where when I'm connected to my purpose, when I'm connected to my inner nature, there's a whole entire gold of energy that just comes from that kind of well-being.
A treasure.
Yeah.
A treasure for your energy palace.
Exactly. What's Alicia saying?
She said she needs to see a clearer picture of our tongues for to assess them. We'll send you one.
Definitely.
That's from a different picture where I have a pointy tongue and he has a real like round one. Love this live and love you too. Well, we love you. But what you're making me think of, Ty, is like when I was a kid, I kind of like, before we have all these adult worries and things like that, that we put upon ourselves, what I did as a kid that made me kind of lose track of time and stuff like that. But I remember the first time, like when I was 12, my best friends, hi Sophia, hi Katina, moved away to, best friends at the time moved away to Colorado. Their parents moved them out there, and I saved my pennies and went for Thanksgiving, went in the fall, when I was in 7th grade, to go visit my BFFs in Denver. And this is before 9/11, when your mom could walk you all the way to the gate and their mom could meet me at the right when I got off the plane and everything. And and I remember seeing the mountains for the first time. We had gone, as a kid, we had gone to the Smokies, but it was the first time I've seen these big, massive Rocky Mountains, right? And I was just like, whoa. I saw them from the plane first, and then I experienced them as a 12-year-old. And I remember just feeling the majesty of those mountains. And now I'm in, the Canadian Rockies and experiencing this, which is a total, just as much majesty, but totally different feeling. But when we're talking to, I think even as recent as last year, I've always had a strong connection with nature, with plants, as a gardener and as a nutrition coach, and even from a young age as a kid, whether land or sea, beach or mountains. But even as recent as last year, I experienced here a whole different connection with the land and with nature in being in this new to me space. And it kind of awakens something in me, right? It kind of activates something in you, in me, that I didn't know was even there, that I didn't know I was missing. But again, how good are we meant to feel? How good can it be? And I think that's a lot of the reason we've both experienced that feeling, and we want to share that with others. And that's what we're doing with this whole return to wildhood ethos, with this whole, bespoke nature immersions, and really bringing together so many different modalities that we've experienced help us feel better than we ever thought we could feel, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, things that my prior self would have described as magic, things that my old self would have described as miracles, are kind of just everyday for me now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
different realms of well-being. I even have a friend who he had one of those vape pens, and I ended up taking him through a breathwork session. And when we were done the breathwork session, he gave me his vape pen. He's like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
It was just like a complete like, wow, the technology's all here in my body. I can feel good. It's for free.
Right.
And yeah, I think nature is such a great teacher for that. And I love what you said about experience as well, because we're living, we're just coming out of the age of information where we have all this knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge about how to feel good, and a lot of that gets stuck in here. Whereas the experiential part and the embodiment of knowledge comes when we have that awareness to bring it into our heart space. And nature is one of the most potent places. Exactly.
And go be it and go do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would think we're definitely inviting anyone who is looking to experience that well-being and cultivate that awareness to join us.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was just thinking, if you want to loop back to what you said, if you want to like maybe replace some of these crutches that we use to feel good, some of these mechanisms that we use to feel good, like sugar, like caffeine, like vaping, like cannabis, like alcohol, these things we in common in our society that we use to kind of feel good, but that usually have a side effect of feeling not so good, right?
Definitely.
That's what we're doing with Return to Wildhood. We have breath work, we have cultivating a relationship with nature, with the plants, with the land, not just taking from it, but actually like creating a relationship with it, right? Intuitive eating meditations, our shamanic nourishment, the hiking, the whole experience, even polar plunging, right? So there's a lot going on. We do stuff with dance and expression, and these experiences can be anywhere from half day, 1 day, 2 day, and we really customize it to you. So we're calling in an individual or a couple or a small group, right? Like if you have a team group or like conscious bachelorette parties or like work retreats or something like that. But in the next 3 weeks, we want to schedule 2 more of these experiences, and we're highly motivated to do it, right? Because I'm only here so long for the season. And, Ty and I are like really, we want to impact the world in a similar way, and we're building this sort of awareness and brand around this, and we would love your help. So if you've had like barriers to entry in the past, you've been thinking about it, definitely come talk to us, because we'd like to support you in that. So DM myself or Ty if you're interested in creating something like this in the beautiful foothills of Alberta, Canada, definitely by, I would say, October 12th.
Yeah, definitely. And also feel free to tag like anyone that that would be interested in this. We're already doing it right now. We've already taken people of older ages, done custom experiences for them, with them leaving feeling even more revitalized. They're already like, yo, can we come back next summer and have this experience with you? And it is totally customizable. Like I've taken a lot of men out as well and had times where I'm like, all right, it's time to challenge each other and really push each other. Sometimes it's a different kind of experience. So
right, with the real intense masculine, or like I said, like Ty said, we've had everywhere from a 19-year-old up to an 86-year-old matriarch. So we can definitely customize it for you guys, and that's what we really enjoy doing, is putting something together that's really gonna benefit your transformation, that's going to give you just such a unique and valuable experience, and to really explore this question of how good are you meant to feel and what is helping you feel that way, to access that to know that you have that inside you. We're just helping you facilitate tapping into that knowing, and then to go home with these sort of practices in order to integrate things into your daily life. So it's not just like, oh, I had this huge like breakthrough and then I still have to go back and like to my 9 to 5 and like eat my Cheerios and all that, but we actually give you like tangible practices to take home.
Definitely. And like it's an experiential level as well, like a next level kind of nourishment. the best metaphor that I could give you is from myself. You know, if you ever go to the grocery store and you have like those store-bought strawberries, like you're like, okay, you know, you're eating those strawberries for your whole entire life, and you're like, pretty good strawberries.
Yeah.
And then you go and eat a wild strawberry.
Yeah.
Where like one little wild strawberry could taste like heavenly.
Heavenly.
And it's
drop of heaven.
Complete shift, and you're like, wow, this is how good it was meant to taste.
Yeah. Who's ever like had that experience? I definitely, the first time I had that was tomatoes from the store versus the garden, and then more recently definitely all the berries, like finding wild berries. I'm sure you guys can relate to that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So anything else? You want to wrap up with like one modality to offer our friends?
One modality to offer our friends. Yeah.
While you think of that, I actually just want to say, I said October 12th, but I mean create the experience by October 12th. We'd love to hear from you straight away, like in the next 2 weeks, like by October 1st, probably, in order to create it. So if you're in the foothills of Alberta, great. Even if you're not and you'd love to come here in the next 1 month, definitely DM us and let us know.
Definitely. Yeah, one modality that I could offer right now is breath work. We could finish with some breath work.
Let's do it.
So
the birds and the dog are gonna do it with us.
Birds and the dog love it with us.
Hey,
so yeah, if you're just tuning in, we're gonna do some breath work, a round of breath work, and then wrap this up.
So definitely get comfy and do some breath work with us, and then if you're just joining, go watch from the beginning.
Yep. So we're gonna do 30 breaths. I'll count them out. We're gonna do 30 breaths, breathing from our diaphragm, and then on the 30th breath, exhale completely. Hold your breath for as long as you can, and then whenever you feel the need to inhale, take another breath and hold that for 15 seconds. So remember to breathe in from your diaphragm, keep a straight spine, and really embody the nobility of your spirit. So 30 breaths, let's do it. Feel that nice tingly sensation in your body. Really feel the awareness, all that energy that you just cultivated. Really feel into how good are you meant to feel. And we'll hold for about 30 more seconds, and then we can do an inhale retention, and then we'll hold for 15 more seconds. And one of the reasons why I love breath work, why it's one of the most powerful modalities, is because of the quote that we started with: awareness is the doorway to spirit. And the challenge is to walk through that doorway. And one of the greatest things that we can bring awareness to is our breath, because our emotions and our way of being is really a reflection of our breath. So it's great to cultivate awareness of our breath. So when you guys are ready, let's do a full inhale, and then we're gonna push our diaphragm out and hold for 15 seconds. So 3, 2, 1. What's up, Annie Karen?
Great northern flicker, like swooshed right over us when we were doing that.
Whoa.
Like right as we were.
That's interesting because the flicker.
It's still right there.
The flicker is an animal who is about new rhythms in your life. So
Of course.
if you're ready for a new rhythm in your life,
Yeah.
starts with the breath, starts with accepting that challenge of walking through that doorway to the majesty of your spirit. And Amanda and I are two people who want to help you
We'd love to
experience
support
the
you.
majesty of your spirit.
Yeah, we'd absolutely love to support you. This is wonderful, says Alicia. Hi, Karen. Yeah, and let us know what's been your gateway practice in the comments. Like, what is something that you've already experienced that you didn't realize is helping you feel way better than you ever thought you were meant to feel? And if you open your mind and heart, what do you imagine is going to help you feel better than you're meant to feel? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And if you want support with that, definitely comment on this video, DM us, let us know. Once again, we're looking for 2 individuals, couples, or small groups to message us by October 1st to do this Return to Wildhood Nourishing Nature Immersion. We're super pumped about it.
Definitely.
2 more spots.
Yeah.
Buggy bugs.
Yeah, please do let us know what that shift has been for you that has allowed you to be like, wow, I could feel even better. And for me, that could even be something as simple as a quote, which is nutritional information for your spirit. It's like soul food. So you can also let us know your favorite quote down below that really inspires you to be like, yeah, life is meant to be lived.
Like a reading practice almost. Yeah, like quote. And let us know how that breath work went for you. I'm seeing the greens and yellows of the trees even brighter after getting so much oxygen to my brain and body and senses.
Yes.
That's why I keep looking up like, woo, so pretty, right?
Yes.
Like I didn't know how bright it was until I did this breath work practice. Thank you, Tyrone.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off for now. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. We love you.